Hey everyone, Ben here. Today we are going to be uncovering the secrets of the Lance Dance by checking out the combos and strategies behind effectively using the Gunlance in Monster Hunter Rise. To start with, the Gunlance is a very defensive weapon that specializes in taking hits on your shield, using the Gunlance shells, Wormstate Cannon, and Wyvern Fire to ignore monster armor, and lastly chaining devastating and explosive combos. The first part of the Gunlance strategy I use revolves around the massive shield you carry with each lance. This shield allows you to hunker behind it and keep safe from most attacks, which is very important as you should be acting in the tank role if you want to hunt with a squad. Some of the more difficult monsters will use attacks that are considered unblockable. However, with the use of skills such as guard up, you can block even these devastating attacks. In addition, using armor sets, gems, or amulets to stack the diversion skill will let you draw the monster's attention more often and allow you to take more hits for your team and improve survivability overall. Using skills such as guard up is even more important when hunting solo, as your maneuverability in battle with your weapon out will be very low, leaving you only one real option for fighting, which is to take hits on your shield until an opening presents itself. Whether it be a heavy hit combo the monster does that leaves it open, a condition, or a trap of some sort. You can create the opening you're looking for by using the standard attack with the X button as you hunker behind your shield to strike with your lance from behind cover. This strategy can be used to stack conditions such as poison, sleep, paralysis, or any of the other types of elemental damage. The next main feature of the Gunlance is the shells. These are explosive rounds fired from the lance that ignore most armor and deal steady non-elemental damage. There are three distinct types that dictate the range and spread of each individual shell type: long range, normal range, and wide range. Wide range adds a stun effect to the shells. In addition to the type of shell, each lance will have a level which will dictate the overall damage. As always, a higher level shell indicates higher damage. These shells can be fired by pressing the A button while your guard is down, or the RZ button if you're in midair. What the shells do exactly in midair depends on the switch skill you have active, which we'll be getting into a bit later. For now though, if you use the charge shelling switch skill, you can press the RZ button while in midair to fire a shell straight in front of you, and can follow it up with a devastating arc of shells by hitting the RZ and A button together. The ammunition for these shells can be tracked by the small bullet-like symbol at the top left, just under your stamina bar. You can reload the Gunlance by hitting the RZ and A buttons together while still on the ground. If you break up each lance shell by tapping the RZ and A button directly after firing a shell, you can also do a speed reload, which reloads your standard shells, but not the Wormstate Cannon. However, you can use this to keep up a continuous barrage of shells. The next ability with the Gunlance is the Wormstate Cannon, an armor-piercing explosive spike that can be shot at point-blank range and will embed itself into the enemy. Shortly afterward, it will explode, ignoring the monster's armor and dealing a massive amount of explosive damage. The basic trigger for the Wormstate Cannon is to fire 2 Gunlance shells in quick succession, followed by a third push of the A button. It is for this reason that all Gunlances will have at least 2 shells to fire before reloading, so you can fire 2 shells, then put in your Wormstake. There are other combos to trigger the Wormstate Cannon, but we'll talk about those a little bit later. The ammo for the Wormstate Cannon is indicated by the larger bullet graphic facing to the side, just under your sharpness meter. The third major feature of the Gunlance is the Wyvern Fire ability, a devastating charge blast delivered at the same range of your Gunlance shell type, which deals massive damage, ignores armor, and knocks back allies and enemies alike. In order to use the Wyvern's Fire, you simply raise your shield with the RZ button, press the A and X buttons together while your guard is up. This will begin the Wyvern Fire's charge, but will keep you protected behind your shield while the blast builds up. You may aim the Wyvern's Fire freely while charging it, and any hit you take to your shield will result in a block that staggers you and knocks you out of the Wyvern's Fire. My advice is to wait until the monster is knocked over, asleep, or immobilized in some way, as it is very easy to miss the Wyvern's Fire if the monster is moving rapidly or running away. The Wyvern's Fire ability has a 110-second cooldown between each use, which can be tracked by the meter at the top left of the screen, just under the Wormstate Cannon's ammo indicator. Next, we're going to get into some of the more useful combos for the Gunlance. To start with, we have the lateral thrust, which is used by pressing the X button when your guard is down. It can be used 3 times in quick succession for your most basic lance combo. The next combo can be started by using the Rising Strike, which can be triggered by pressing the A and X button together while your guard is down. This will start an upward strike, which can be chained into several more advanced combos such as the Burst Fire or Wide Sweep. The Burst Fire combo is a chain of 2 hits followed by the firing of all remaining shells into the target at once. Simply start the combo with an upward strike followed by the X button. Once you have struck with the second strike, press the A button the moment your lance tip hits the ground to release a devastating burst of Gunlance shells. This combo is especially useful when the monster you are hunting is stunned, exhausted, or trapped, as the wide sweeping attacks and recoil from the shells can leave you vulnerable. An additional press of the A button at the end of this combo will also transition directly into the Wormstate Cannon. This additional step can make the combo even more deadly, but is to be used with caution as you are even more vulnerable during and after the Wormstake firing. The next combo is the Wide Sweep, which is similar to the Burst Fire combo in the fact that it begins with the upward strike. However, after an upward strike and the second downward strike, pressing the X button instead of the A button will cause you to sweep from the side with your Gunlance for a weapon strike instead of the shells. By pressing either the A or X button after this, the Wide Sweep will transition directly back into that Wormstate Cannon. This combo, much like the Burst Fire, is to be used when an opening presents itself, or when you've created one by knocking over a monster, trapping it, or stacking a condition. The next combo is kind of a combination of the last two. You begin by going into the Burst Fire combo, except instead of hitting the A button after the burst of shells, you would hit the X button. This will transition into the Wide Sweep from the other combo we covered, and then an additional press of the A or X button will follow the Wide Sweep with the Wormstate Cannon. This combo is by far the most DPS heavy combo in your arsenal, but just as the previous 2 combos, you want to wait for the monster you're hunting to be exhausted, stunned, paralyzed, or trapped, as this lengthier combo will leave you even more vulnerable while you're delivering it. The final part I wanted to talk about is the switch skills. Switch skills are strikes and utility moves that can be set and changed actively by completing some of the optional quests given to you during the hub quest lines, then mixing and matching which skills you prefer on the hunt. The skills I prefer are the Ground Splitter, which can be used by pressing the ZL and X buttons together. This charges forward in the direction you're pointing while resisting any oncoming damage and delivering a Ground Splitter attack, which will drag your lance across the floor, strike the monster, and then ignite the tip of it, which will buff your damage output for a short time. This attack is best used to close the distance on an enemy and begin a combo as you close to deliver buff DPS. The next switch skill I prefer is the Charge Shelling. This skill allows you to charge the shells you fire with the A button at the cost of extra charge time for extra damage. The most useful part of this skill, however, is the Mid-Air Burst Fire that this skill allows you to do by pressing the RZ and A button while in mid-air. This allows you to chain Mid-Air Burst Fire into other devastating combos as well, and I urge you to play around with these. The most useful I've found would be following up the Burst Fire with a Dropping Strike by pushing the X button while still in mid-air, and following that up with an additional push of the X or A button for a Wormstate Cannon. This skill is useful for when you're first closing in on the enemy, as you can leap from your palamute or ledge to deliver this powerful mid-air attack to start the fight. Each of these switch skills has a counterpart to pick from as well, but these are the ones I use primarily for the Gunlance. I urge you to explore the switch skills in the practice area, as finding the combination of switch skills you prefer can help you bring your build together nicely. Well, that's it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon so you can set your notifications. If you liked what you saw, have suggestions for more videos or tips about how you prefer to play the Gunlance that I might have missed, please leave a comment. If you would like to see more content like this, check out the links in the description where you'll find our Discord, Instagram, and Twitch channels. Thank you for watching. Bad Wizard out.